5 patterns with 23 worked examples to cover synthesis and transformation in PSLE English. We are aiming for a perfect 10. Welcome to Synthesis and Transformation. This section is worth 10 marks in PSLE English. We will go through 5 patterns with 23 worked questions to give you full coverage for the exam. Here's our game plan. We have broken S&T into 5 blocks. Reported speech, 4 questions. Phrase openers, 5 questions. Conjunctions and connectors, another 5 questions. Active and passive voice, 4 questions. And finally, mixed practice, 5 questions. Today we will cover Pattern 1 and 2. Pattern 1, direct and reported speech. This is the most frequently tested transformation type in the PSLE. We are focusing on 3 subtypes: statements, questions, and commands. The master rule for reported speech is these 3 shifts. Tense shifts back. Present becomes past. Pronouns shift out. I becomes he or she. And time and place words shift away. This becomes that. If you check for these 3 things in every reported speech question, you will answer it correctly. Now let's review the right structure for each of the 3 speech types. For a statement, we use said or told, plus that, plus clause, and shift the tense back. There are 2 types of questions. For a yes-no question, it's asked, plus if or whether, plus clause. Remember to use statement word order and remove the question mark. The same rules apply to a question starting with who, what, or where. It's asked, plus question word, plus clause. Again, statement word order and no question mark. For a command, it is told or warned or advised, plus object, plus to or not to, plus base verb. Always identify the speech type first, then choose the right structure. Let's try question 1. The original sentence is, "You should revise this topic regularly," the teacher told Peter. We are to rewrite and start with, "The teacher told Peter that." This is a statement conversion. Before you rewrite, think, what are the 3 things that must change according to our master rule? The correct answer is, the teacher told Peter that he should revise that topic regularly. There were 3 key changes. You becomes he, and this becomes that, because the teacher is no longer pointing at something nearby. Remember the rule. Modals like should or could never backshift. The most common mistake here is leaving this as this. You must change this topic to that topic to show distance in time or place. Question 2. Have you ever visited the Science Museum? Auntie May asked her nephew. We are to rewrite and begin with, Auntie May asked her nephew. This is a yes/no question. Think carefully. What word do you use to introduce this reported question? The model answer. Auntie May asked her nephew if he had ever visited the Science Museum. We use if or whether to introduce this reported question. Have you visited is present perfect, so it backshifts to past perfect. Had ever visited. Most importantly, there is no question mark. Reported questions use statement word order, meaning the subject, he, comes before the verb, had visited. Question 3. Don't touch the exhibits, the guide warned the visitors. We are to rewrite using keyword not. This is a command and a negative one. How do we convert don't touch into a reported command? The correct answer. The guide warned the visitors not to touch the exhibits. Recall the formula for commands is warned or told or advised, plus object, plus not to, plus base verb. Don't touch simply becomes not to touch. Notice that the not comes directly before the to. Question 4. I went to the supermarket to look for you, Uncle John said to Auntie Mary. We are to rewrite using keyword that. This is another statement conversion. Be careful with the pronoun change and tense change for this one. Let's check the answer. Uncle John told Auntie Mary that he had gone to the supermarket to look for her. Key changes include, went is past simple, so it backshifts 1 step to past perfect, had gone. Pronoun you shifts to her, because it refers to Auntie Mary. Watch out. When the listener is named, you must use told, not said to. Moving on to Pattern 2, phrase openers and sentence starters. These questions give you a phrase to start with, like out of, much to, or neither of. Your number 1 job is to know what type of word, specifically a noun, must follow each opener. The main rule is, every opener takes a noun. If the question gives you an adjective, your first job is to convert it to the corresponding noun. For example, envious become envy, and curious become curiosity. Relieved becomes relief, and disappointed becomes disappointment. One critical point for phrase opener neither of is that the noun is plural, for example, parents, but the verb must be singular, for example, was. Let's look at question 1. Renee ruined Debbie's drawings. Renee was envious. We are to combine these two sentences and start with out of. Remember, the first step is converting the adjective envious to the required noun form. The correct answer: out of envy, Renee ruined Debbie's drawings. Envious must become the noun envy. You cannot write out of envious. That's an adjective. Question 2. Fadri was relieved to find out that his wallet was not missing. We are to rewrite and begin with much to. This requires a possessive and a noun. Which noun do you need? The correct answer is much to Fadri's relief. His wallet was not missing. Note the possessive apostrophe s and the noun. Relieved becomes relief. Never much to Fadri's relieved. Always a possessive plus a noun. Question 3. Both my parents were absent from my performance yesterday. Rewrite and start with neither of. Be alert for subject-verb agreement and also how you rewrite absent. The answer is, neither of my parents was present at my performance yesterday. First, you must flip the meaning. Absent becomes present. Second, neither of always takes a singular verb, was, not were. Even though parents is plural, the structure neither of requires a singular verb. Question 4. He can say anything. I will not go. Rewrite and begin with no matter. What question word do you need to link the first part of the sentence? The answer is, no matter what he says, I will not go. We change anything he can say to what he says. Note the comma after the entire no matter clause. Remember the structure. No matter plus what or how or who, followed by a comma, then the result clause. Question 5. John took part in the competition. His mother agreed to it. Rewrite with mid-sentence keywords. With his mother's. Remember, after the possessive, you need a noun. What noun represents the idea of agreed to it? The answer: John took part in the competition with his mother's consent. Agreed to it is equivalent to consent, approval, or agreement. All are accepted. The key rule once again: after a possessive, mother's, you must use a noun. Don't make the mistake of using the gerund. With his mother's agreeing is incorrect here. That concludes part 1 of our S&T Mastery series. Coming up in part 2, we will tackle conjunctions, passive voice, and our ultimate PSLE exam mix drill. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Head over to SmartPathSG.com to play our free PSLE practice game, or join our community for more tips and resources. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week.